Good afternoon, YouTube's Male OHS page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube, folks. I've got a busy week. I mean, it's it's the first official full week of November. Just did an interview, yesterday. Now I got an interview a day, and I got about three more in the pocket waiting for me. I had a little dry month one time. I mean, I had two or three interviews, but I'm getting some back and back. I mean, I'm busy. I mean, these ladies love to share their stories. They love to talk to me. Sometimes I used to remember when I work at my old jobs. I used to talk with the ladies. I used to work with women all day. I used to work in textiles. Women like to feel comfortable when they talk to a man. That's how we want ladies to feel. We want you to feel comfortable. So here's a lady who is just turned pro this past summer up in Toronto. As you know, I'm a big fan of Canadian bodybuilders. If you follow me on social media, I have a Facebook page called For the Love of Canadian FBBs. I'm a big fan of those people who are, Canadian bodybuilders are like, they have a certain level. They have that bit of the American in them and a bit of that European in it. It's a nice combination. So here we have the lovely Mrs. Robyn Faulkenham. She is IFBB pro. She won her pro card at Toronto Pro in both women's bodybuilding and women's physique, if I'm correct, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the second lady I had on here, because a while back I had a lady, lovely Miss Emily Bakova, who also last year won her pro card in both the classes, in both divisions, and she's competing in the Romanian Muscle Fest coming up this week. This is something I often like to ask these ladies who start their path in the sport of bodybuilding. How did you get involved in such a sport of muscle and masculinity, especially powerlifting, where you have to be strong?
Honestly, I've always been, I guess, on the larger side, a large lady. So I started in the gym. I started strongman, actually, and I just sort of fell in love with it. And from there, in the off season, just to get more competitions in, I started powerlifting. And then I had kind of a nagging injury and sort of needed to switch up my training. And my boyfriend's like, why don't you try bodybuilding? So that's kind of where that started. I just felt a lot better doing that style of training with the hypertrophy. And here we are. It's my new passion, I guess.
It's good that you find a passion for it, because it's a tough sport. Either one of them, because I know some ladies. I know a lady who was a powerlifter at one point, and she, because of her back injuries like that, she started to switch over to bodybuilding. I think the past few years, there's a lot of women coming from powerlifting into bodybuilding, but there's also quite a few bodybuilders into powerlifting. Like one lady who I follow, Angela Yo, who's second Miss Olympia title holder. She does powerlifting. There's also Susan Davis. Right now, I've seen one lady who's a legend back in the day in bodybuilding, Christy Hawkins. She's been doing our powerlifting tournaments. And I remember back in the day, she looked like just very beautiful, angelically, looking woman, and she was beautiful, had the muscle, everything. It was just amazing, what powerlifting can do for some of you ladies, if you especially want to get to that next level. So who we got here? We got some guests here. We got here my man KL the Wanderer. He just says, hey to KL. Also, she's a brick house. He's probably went on your social media platforms and saw your pictures. Also, he has a lot of female bodybuilding friends. Well, I would say some ladies are friends, some ladies are associates. But you know what? I consider ladies like that, who take the time out and talk to me. I consider very good, friendly, conversationalist people, and we enjoy each other's time. So if I want to slow down a little bit, because I'm from the South sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it was tough. So you're doing strongman. What was your best, how the best way to say it is strongman? Like, I think you used to do that, to carry the big ball and you have to do the pole thing, or.
Strongman has so many events. I would say I'm not the best at any of them. I think I did so well because I was kind of good at all of them. So middle of the pack kind of thing. My favorite is probably the big balls, the stones. I found it like really fun and challenging. And I think my height sort of gave me a little bit of an advantage against some of my other competitors that were shorter.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
That's pretty good size for a woman, because I know some ladies were like I did if you were a while back. She's 5'10". I know some ladies. I remember one of the tallest bodybuilders back in the day when I used to remember was Nicole Bass. So they go Nicole Bass. She was like 6'2". And you think of you remember that movie Deuce Bigelow when dating that woman says that's one huge bitch. But I like I said, with you being like this in the middle superstar and the hard work you got to go through, what was your training regimen like? How was it like compared to bodybuilding to powerlifting?
My time in the gym is probably similar. When I was doing strongman and powerlifting, though, obviously not a whole lot of steady state cardio, so that's definitely different. And a lot of diet changes. Like when I did strongman, I just kind of ate whatever I wanted. I wasn't really eating to perform.
So you could eat like 10 cheeseburgers in one day, and then but when you in bodybuilding, you can only eat quinoa and rice and a little half of dry chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely different challenges that way. I find bodybuilding is a lot more mentally challenging for me.
Yeah, that's the thing about bodybuilding. It's tough, especially when you have to change what you like to eat. Like I can tell you just from my aspects, I used to be about 500 pounds, and I lost a good amount of it because I decided to, because as my mom passed, I decided to take care of myself. I was taking care of her. And I changed some of my habits, but I still like some of the good stuff. It's hard. It'd be like, there's a movie called New Jack City. Chris Rock plays character Pookie. Man, sometimes it'd be call your name, man. Be call your name, but still you try to eat smart. But every now and then you want a little, yo. So, what was the last thing you got to eat after you got your pro card? What was that thing that you were just like, oh?
So it wasn't the first thing I ate, but the first thing that I wanted to eat that I made sure I ate was like bread. I know it sounds really weird, but when you go to like a steakhouse and they put like that free bread on the table, like for me, fresh warm bread with butter is, I don't know, the thing that I always want.
Is that those big yeast rolls, and they're steaming off, and you got that nice butter. It might hit the honey butter, like it'd be like sweet, and also it's like and say, hey honey, you need to eat that. Hey, because but this is from my man K. He says this. Was it fun eating whatever you want as a powerlifter than a bodybuilder? And I think she agrees. I think it was a lot more fun. But like I said again, you have to change the diet when you become a bodybuilder.
I think that one thing I learned switching over to bodybuilding is that even when I was a powerlifting, like I was not eating to perform. So although I was probably eating a lot more calories when I was powerlifting, I wasn't eating the right calories that could have made me like that much better. So I really liked the structure, honestly, of being a bodybuilder, that like eating every 3 to 4 hours kind of thing. Like my body feels a lot better doing that. So even like this season, I intend to power lift before I start prep, that I'm going to continue to kind of keep that in the rotation, that constantly eating and I'm eating things that are going to help me be that much better.
It's good. That's good. It's important. People keep understand about bodybuilding, any kind of sport. When you are performing, the diet is essential because, like I said again, you just can't eat everything you want. You have to. Sometimes you're training as a bodybuilder. You have to have, as you talk about, you love the bread because carbs is one thing they tell you don't have to have. You try to cut out sugars, eat more protein. I mean, just the things that help you bring in conditioning, that balance. Most people, the mindset of they think of bodybuilding is that, oh, just take steroids and pop. No, And then you say switching from as a powerlifter, you'll do a lot of cardio. Cardio is something that's new to you, and I know some competitors don't like it, but it's part of maintaining and developing your body and your conditioning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's your favorite workout and your least favorite workout?
My favorite workout is legs for sure.
What?
Yeah.
What? This is crazy. You're the third pro. The lady I talked about earlier, who just got her pro card last year, and both wins by the way, win physique. She said the same thing. And I did an interview with Tiana Flex. If you ever heard of her, she said the same thing. They love legs. I don't know. Y'all are oddities. I mean, I never hear nobody say, "I love leg day, George." No, they would say, "No, George, I don't want to do leg day." I feel like the episode from Chappelle's show when Eddie and Charlie Murphy pick up Rick James' legs. Say, "What about legs, Charlie Murphy?" That's how they feel like when they do leg day.
Well, I normally feel really sick after, but I think that I like it because it kind of lets me bring in some heavier compound movements. A lot of my other days, the hypertrophy is just like a lot of reps. And in my leg day, I still at the beginning incorporate, like maybe I'll start with heavy squats, a couple sets. So I don't know. I just kind of enjoy those movements. So still being able to bring those into my workouts and grow the legs is exciting to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you kept the morning be like you take your legs like. Yeah. And what's your favorite? I know. Like I said, you love leg day. You're not much for biceps, are you?
No, and actually, I don't even have any biceps in my program. They're just sort of like I'll add a little bit in on back day, but
And back day is the least favorite, huh?
I don't actually think that I have a least favorite. I don't know that I just enjoy going to the gym in general. I'll have like a bad off day workout, which kind of ruins things, but muscle group to work out, I don't think I have a least favorite.
It's pretty good. It's good that you love working and building yourself. I mean, some people have things they hate, some people don't have things they like. And the process of bodybuilding is to understand the process of develop yourself as an athlete, because you get to really put in the focus and time. Sometimes you can't skip. There's no hacks for this, no hacks for that. You have to be consistent. And that's the thing about it, is consistency. There's days where I know you're up there in Canada. I know it's already 0 below degrees now. Yeah, because I'm down here in North Carolina. I think it's like maybe a balmy 65, 70. Because I'm still wearing air conditioner right now. It's kind of gets warm outside, so it takes us a lot longer to get cold than y'all. So yeah, and those days you don't want to go work out. I know you days you want to stay home and curl up your bed, watch TV. But
Absolutely.
in order to be the top of your game, you have to put in the time in the gym, and put into work. Because you know what, if you don't work hard, you don't get nothing.
No, you're absolutely right. Um, Definitely days I don't want to, but you just kind of push through it. And I find like I always feel better when I'm done. So whether it's just the satisfaction of like pushing myself to get it done or just the endorphins of having that workout, you always feel better once you do it.
Yeah. Well, folks, this is a nice young lady. I think she has a good future in sport. We hope to see more of her. We're gonna go in her social media for a bit and look at some pictures and some stuff, and check her out. But guys, and this is something this is not direct to you two, Robyn. This is something I direct to the schmoes out there, and this is to you, schmoes, and this is to you. No D pics. Stop it. Don't do that. Women don't like that. You don't have to be just everyday women don't like that. I mean, I remember some ladies who are confronted would say, "Hey, George, this guy sent me this." I said, "Wait, I got what he said that for?" Because they feel like you're like, why? What's the point? So we're gonna jump into her social media for a bit, and we're gonna look at some pictures and videos. Check her out. Also, like I said, follow her on social media platforms and check her out and support her. So, like I said, that you made your debut here at what was your debut?
I haven't done my debut yet.
No, as an amateur.
Yeah. Oh, so last year I did TNT, which was my first show.
And then you earned your pro card at the Toronto Pro, which is so you haven't been competing too long, have you?
In bodybuilding, no, this is just my second year.
And this is very impressive. You look pretty good. You wearing your pro card here, and you just have a great look to you. I mean, especially that you're taller. Because I think one thing is that it's harder for the taller women to really bring on that level of muscle. Who's this gentleman right here with the kitty cat?
This is my partner, Wayne.
Partner. Oh, so y'all go rob banks together? I'm sorry, I'm old-fashioned, sweetheart. I don't call him this. That's supposed to be saying that's my man. That's my partner. We're gonna rob banks. Going, but I know you modern kids. You like to use these fancy little tags, whatever else. But how long y'all known each other? Hello. I was picking on you. How long you Wayne known each other?
Wayne has been my man for 4 years.
Yeah, that's better. I think he like to hear that. He might be saying, "Okay, baby, you can call me partner." But that's cool. He's been. Does he also powerlift or?
So he has in the past. He was a competitive powerlifter. He arm wrestles, and he has been on the bodybuilding stage before. Right now, he's not competing.
Mm-hmm. And who these precious little girls here?
Oh, my nieces.
Yeah. And that's who's that?
That's my brother-in-law.
Oh, yeah. It's good that you have the support of your family, because they, like your sisters and your other family members. Do they understand and accept what you're doing?
I feel like they do and they don't. They're definitely very supportive. So Wayne and I actually live on the other side of Canada. We don't really have any family close to where we live, so we go about once a year. But they always tune into all the live streams when I'm competing. I think that more so there's a little confusion is they don't always understand like the rebound and coming back, and like if I'll go home and if I'm not shredded, they're like, well, where are all your muscles? Like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. Well, you gotta remember that once you relax and you get to eat real food for a bit, those shreds go away. They come back once you start getting your training and start getting prepped. But not everybody. It's like one thing I often somebody say it's not healthy to maintain those shreds because it's not humanly possible. I know some ladies, they want to stay shredded all year, but it's tough. And and you feel more soft and feminine when you're off season, and it's a nice photo session here. Who took the pictures?
Annie
Riccio. Oh,
yeah.
Look. I met Annie a while back in Savannah. Annie is a legend. She's a multiple-time Olympic competitor. She, Muscle Angels.
Yes.
Annie is the best person to work with because she is being a bodybuilder and understand what it was to compete. I mean, I met her last year at Savannah. It was great to meet her in person. I've been a fan of her for a long time. I'm always saying like this. I'm a muscle pro smo for nearly 40 years, and you look really impressive here. And what would you say your last show? What did the critique the judges gave you?
Honestly, I did not get the judges' feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So I obviously had some conversations with my coach, and we know kind of where we're lagging and what we need to work on this season. Like I'm just so new to the sport. After I won my pro card, I had the option to step on stage with the pros the next day, and I did decline because I just know, this is my very first show.
Mm-hmm, yeah, you look right. Nice suit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and as you saying that I know sometimes we just get your pro card. They do offer you the opportunity to compete with the pros, but sometimes some would say, nah, they just want to see how they want to go along the way, and maybe wait maybe a year or so down the road. I know some ladies who waited 2 or 3 years for to make their pro debut.
I plan to compete this year, but I definitely wasn't ready right after I won my card. I mean, I've seen the pro girls, and like I'm very happy with the package that I brought at the Toronto Pro Show to win my pro card, but I just think that I have a lot that I need to work on to get to their level to be on that stage for my debut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's always something about, especially as you compete and you train, you have to feel comfortable where you want to go at in your path in sport of bodybuilding. I mean, not everybody wants to jump on stage, hit the step with the big dogs just yet. They want to make those adjustments and bring conditioning. You know, this is this is your this is your other family. That's your
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
my mother and my grandmother.
Yeah. I thought that one was your sister. That was your woman. The middle was your mother. Wow. You just as pretty as your mama, as we say down here. Yeah, and like I said, I know she's proud of you because you found your passion. I mean, and you've been how long? You've been an athlete ever since you were young, or you just kind of slip into it?
No, I feel like I've been an athlete ever since I was a child. Maybe not as serious, but I started kind of basketball, soccer, volleyball when I was younger, in high school, and then kind of when I was out on my own was maybe it took a couple of years for that kind of finding yourself party a little bit, and then got back into it and haven't looked back since.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. Those couple years, my mom said I need to find a job. So, yeah, you got to do something here, boy. You can't be saying, no. So, got out of high school and say I did have a part-time job when I was 16, and I had that job till I was the stock boy, then I was a cashier, then I was the assistant manager till that store went out of business. I worked a couple jobs here and there. I was holding down two jobs at one point when in my 20s and my 30s. And one of the jobs I was holding down, I used to work in, as they call it, a gentleman's club. I like to always read that because he was fun. I had guys go, man, George, you're working all around those girls. Dude, when it's not a good night, those women are not happy. You don't want to be around. No, it's not like that. It's not up and down jumping every happy day. No. Sometimes if they're not making money, they're not happy. But yeah, working here and there, and and finding yourself, and that's the thing. When you're young, you should enjoy your life and enjoy the opportunities you have. Then we get to, because in a week or so I'm going to be 49. We get to this point in life, you want to say like, what? I have no regrets. I enjoyed what I do. We got here some people coming in. This is my Leroy King. Shout out to Leroy. Great interview, great lady. I mean, he's a fan. Here's a guy I have to warn you about. This is my man here. Paul Steve. He says, what up and salutes. He says this. He says, peace and blessing, beautiful, and you are beautiful, he says. And also he says, good afternoon, gorgeous. He says, smash that like button, and he drops this marker every single time. It's Chicago in here. I know Chicago's in here, Ball Steve. I know you're in here. So, you don't have to keep telling every time you come on here. Yeah. But yeah, and when did you start in your powerlifting path? When after you were going through that, searching for yourself?
I probably had a couple 3 years there where I was kind of a little lost, but I've been powerlifting, I think, for the last 5 years, 6 years. And so, like I said, I still like to do that in the off season, and I'm hoping this year to get a couple meets in before I get back on the stage.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And one thing with powerlifting, there is a more monetary, things to it towards in bodybuilding, because in bodybuilding it's a special sport. It's a hobby sport. It's a sport where there's especially you just turn pro, and as an amateur, it's tough. The cost of training, you be a coach, and what's your coach's name? And
Hyacinth this year.
Oh my God, he trains about all the best. Hella Trevino. He worked with. Oh God, there's so many that I know. He most definitely Hella, because I'm a big fan of Hella. I used to be in contact with him on social media. He out of Dubai. He's like he is the female bodybuilding whisperer. I mean, that is, I think he's right there with Shelby Starnes, and I'm saying, my dear, you're in good company. I mean, you're some good company. I mean, but yeah, and he's really did some work. I remember that shit that Hella was under Heidi before that, her last in the Olympia on the Shelby in 2021. Then she made a switch to Nasir, and then Nasir got her second place behind Andrea Shaw. Excuse me, Andrea Shaw. Oh, I'm sorry, I do that every time I say her name. Yes, but yeah. Hmm?
She's
What
amazing.
she is. I mean, I just, I think she brings both muscle and beauty. And that's what especially women's bodybuilding need. She's just really top of her game. And I said congratulations to her fourth Olympia win. Again, a lady who I'm friendly with, she's going to send me an autographed book that she autographed for me. She's going to send me for my birthday. Oh, thank you. Shout out to Eunice Martinez Kitchens. Appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, who do you, as an up and coming competitor, who do you admire? Is it anybody you think you admire in the sport, in bodybuilding or powerlifting?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of them. So when I started bodybuilding, I was following Chelsea Dion on Instagram, who Hyacin also trains.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, this is who she uses. Like, I need them. And she was a power lifter as well. So seeing her like just becoming pro and then already like on the Olympia stage so quickly, I definitely like look up to her in that regard. I was watching the Olympia the other day, and obviously Andrea Shaw I followed for a while and find that she's just amazing. And you're absolutely right. She's still so feminine, but holds so much muscle. Hopefully one day I can be up there and kind of have similar stature.
Yeah, I think you could have, like I said, possibly because which like right now, where you feel like you are more fitted, you want to go in bodybuilding or you want to try physique?
I personally feel that I'm probably more suited for physique. I I honestly don't know if I can. I know I could get muscular enough for bodybuilding, and I mean the two classes are very similar right now, honestly. But I don't know if really I want to carry around that much muscle all the time to be like a professional bodybuilder.
Yeah, I can say that. I know that I think a lot of ladies often use the reason because a lot of the muscle, and plus also they feel like if they do women's bodybuilding, they lose their femininity. But if you look at people like Chelsea, you look at Andre, you look at Mila Ash, you look at Sherry Priami, those are very attractive women. Yes, you're gonna have some
Yeah.
women that do look a little bit hard, a little bit rough, but those are just those women who just didn't stop. They went past the extreme. That was their choice. But if you are comfortable with what you're going with, because like I said, physique and women's bodybuilding, pretty much ever since I've been doing this content, and I wasn't a big fan of physique. I called it women's watered down women's bodybuilding because it's supposed to come in a certain level of conditioning. But if you look at it now, you look at even like the former champ, Natalie Cuejo, how she is no farther than women in the body division. Sarah Vickers kind of like a throwback of some women from back in the, I think, the 90s, maybe like a Sandy Riddell or Sheeta Black in the early 2000s. But some of these other women who I've seen now, they like one lady, Anne Moon, she's from France. I interviewed one of a French country women, Barbara Majan, and she talked about that. She told me that they didn't want it because it's not very popular in their neck of the woods of France. But if you look at her, she's also, I think she's about 5'7", 5'8", kind of like about as tall as you. And so is Chelsea. I think Chelsea's like about that height. And I think it has to work with your genetics, and also if you're willing to go that next level. If you're not, then if you feel comfortable where you're at, that's your choice. We got here. This is from Balls Deep. He actually made this comment. He says, Andrews brought sexy back to bodybuilding. I truly believe. He also likes to ask, he says, how she got started, who got her started in FBB. And that's a good question. Who did get you started? Because we talk about how you got into it, but who was the person that, because you say it was your injury that got you into it, but I know you say it was your boyfriend.
Yes, my man.
Yeah, her man. See, that's what I mean. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear that. That's my partner. We're gonna be shooting. I'm sorry. I'm from Generation X. I grew up. My mama called her my daddy her man, her husband, like that. Girl, you modern girls. But if you want to call him partner, that's cool. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, I mean, it's good that he supported you, because I know in some cases that, especially if you have a couple that's in a relationship, one's a bodybuilder, one's not, sometimes both. Sometimes, there'd be always like, okay, the debate of should I push a little more? Would they still love me for I am, but it's good that he's there and supports you, and he's the one who's rooting for you.
It's nice that he has been on the stage before, so he kind of gets, when prep gets long and I'm cranky and not in the mood for this or that, or that he really understands and doesn't take it personally.
Yeah, you get the hangry feeling, like sometimes, like I don't want to talk to you. They go like, you just that's the thing about this thing, bodybuilding. I've known some ladies who I've talked to said that this thing can really affect your mind, especially if you are taking certain, we are performance enhancers. If they're too extreme, they can affect you. And sometimes not just that, the diet can be stressful because you're denying your body certain taste, some flavors. Like you just eating plain rice and boring chicken can get tired after a while. Then if you go out somewhere, where you see somebody eating, a pizza, and you might want to go over there and punch in the face and take the pizza and run out the door. But you have to have a lot of self-control to do this. And it's, again, the sport is expensive, because not counting your food, your coach you got to pay, your training, your posing, the suits. That's the one thing. I mean, that suit.
It is insanely expensive.
Yeah, most times you have to, someone would sing suit back and back, but after a while you have to change up because, the judges would be like, hey, isn't that suit she wore like about 3 shows ago? But, and then you can say the other part, like what bodybuilding has changed over the years since I can remember. The ladies didn't have the fancy sparkly suits. They might do something with the hair, the makeup, but then the tanning and everything else, and the travel to the shows. And, and you're the other side of Canada, there's not as many shows other than, there's, if you ever heard this show, it's called the Vancouver Island Showdown, as in Vancouver. The Toronto Pro. There was the Vancouver show, but they dropped Physique. You don't have Physique anymore. A show that might be, if it's close to you, maybe it's my man Balls Deep. He's from Chicago. That's the Chicago Pro. Shout out to Balls Deep, and thank you for dropping Chicago. I mean, traveling is the thing about this. I wish there was more shows, especially for, and I know some ladies who compete in Canada. The lady who I've become really friendly with, Melody Horton, she comes down here, she competes. Melinda Williams, she lives up there. She says she should come down here. Tana Huey, who we become good friends, and for a good while, she lives up there too. And a lot of them would love to come down here with opportunity to compete in the States, but the cost of traveling, and that is the thing,
Yeah. Especially now that I've turned pro, kind of what's available to me has definitely gotten a lot smaller. But it was kind of the same with strongman. It's not a very big sport, so I was traveling a lot to compete in that. So I expect I'll kind of pick probably a place that I've always wanted to go and kind of make it a show and a mini vacation, I guess. But I knew getting into this that would be the case, and that we would be traveling to compete. And I mean, we're just kind of fortunate that we will financially be able to do that, hopefully a couple times a year.
Mm-hmm. That's good, because that's one thing. If you're financially secure, that's good, because one thing especially for women in this sport, unless you have a real decent job, many of these ladies have to circumvent some kind of cash flow with, I don't know if you do it, that's not for you or not. This OnlyFans, it's her biceps, there's muscle fest. She did the shoot with Annie, and those are pretty good. Those are popular. A lot of ladies that do them after the show, because this is a small thing I learned a long time ago when I was younger. I used to go on to, back in the day, we used to have dial-up. I had to wait till my mom was asleep so I can get on the computer. So she had to wake up because the phone's out. Because if the phone comes out in the middle of the night, somebody's dead or somebody's hurt. So that's cool then. So I used to go into these chat rooms, and this guy told me, say, it was my first time when he says, hey guy, hey kid, you like bodybuilding? Yeah. He said there's a saying. I said, what kind of saying? He said, we supposed rock hard, you ladies rock hard, we rock hard. So but some ladies, they do those sites to circumvent money for themselves. I know it's something that you be want to do, interested, but I think if there was better cash flow, especially even the amateur level, like more assistance for you, like if you want to travel to a show, you should able to have some kind of deduction or something, or when it comes to the show, or they could. I think the guy in the Vancouver Island show, he did help out with some of the travel expenses for some of the ladies because there were that many women in that show. But if there's just more support for your women, I think more you ladies can maybe go to the shows and maybe try to get opportunities to compete.
Absolutely. Even for the Toronto show, my first show, TNT, offers bursary for athletes. So I was lucky enough to get one of those. As for the spicy websites, I don't really know. I don't know if I have it in me to
Yeah.
do. That photo shoot with Annie was kind of my first time, and when they came to me, I was like very nervous and didn't know what to expect, but she was so sweet and made me feel so comfortable. So I mean, definitely I would do something like that again post show, but well, I don't know. We'll see about the other stuff, I guess.
Yeah, well, it is pretty good. It's also there's Sean Nelson. He has his he does photo shoots after the show. A couple others are pretty good. Some you have to be wary of because sometimes they use the excuse that we owe the property to this, but they're willing to pay you. Some like Winter Strength, they're pretty good on paying the ladies, especially if you do something like the Vancouver, like if you do the Arizona Pro. I think they say they usually pay you for the photo shoot. You don't have to pay it. But then also, if you want to make content for yourself, especially on social media, it's good to try to get a photo shoot. You might have to pay somebody. If you know somebody who's like good at photo shooting, like maybe a boyfriend or something like that, put it on your stuff. So really that helps out because it gives you attention. And also, it gets you sponsorship because sometimes sponsors go like, you have a great look to you. You have this tall Amazon look to you, very young and fresh, and some mindset, some guys, let's get them while they're young, but that really helps garner your attention, and also like I said again, promotion is good. A lot of these supplement companies might need somebody. Hey, we need a new face. We need somebody. Hey, I saw this girl. She did an interview with this guy a while back. She looks kind of cute. Look like she might work. I mean, we might reach out to her. She's kind of tall, stature. We got here from man Tony97 says. He says, Robyn, you look amazing. These guys, I tell you, Also, this is for man Curtis Jr. He says, you so cute. Can I see your muscles? Yeah, I don't know if she wants to show her muscles right now. Curtis, huh?
Off season.
Yeah, she's off season.
Muscles right now.
Yeah, she's she on the muscles right now. She got a little pump there, but I usually I usually don't ask her. Some guys say, "Hey, can you flex?" Sometimes they get tired of flexing. They do. And I didn't read the whole way it's about the most thing. I would have skipped it, but he said you're so cute, so I had to let you know you're cute. And excuse me, sorry, but yeah, it is tough that oh sorry, had a lunch earlier, so it's coming back up, and it's tough that not enough support, especially for the women end of the sport. That's why some of the ladies have to, I won't say have to do, but they choose to do it, those websites, because the fact is a way to circumvent money. If it was more lucrative, like you just had the Mr. Olympia, the new guy, Derek, he gets nearly almost $500,000,
Yeah.
almost $500,000. And while Andrew walks away with 50, I think, with Sarah, she's a rich man's wife, so she'll worry about money. She does it for the hell of it. I mean, she can go to almost every Olympia on a Lear jet, and she's getting money to other shows. But I think if there was better, options for you ladies, like especially money wise, I think more women will want to get out there and do shows. It's really the women divisions that really get the attention is, as I call them, the TNA divisions, and that is bikini and wellness. That's what they are. Come on, we all know that. And if there's more opportunities for you women who really are, I would say y'all truly bodybuilders. Maybe I'll give a little bit more to the wellness girls, but not so much as the bikini.
I agree with you. It's also, I don't know, like for me to kind of keep my femininity and stuff, I can probably do a couple shows a year, right? And then I have to take some time off. I have to, get my hormones balanced, get this. I seen a post from one of these bikini girls and she's like, oh, it's my 12th show this year. And I'm like, what? So like, I think it's a little different in that aspect.
Yeah, with bikini, it's a little bit more attainable. Because I did a couple of interviews with ladies in bikini. I don't do as much content on it but if since I say I need to expand my content, and I've talked to ladies in bikini. With the other ones, like wellness is hard to get to those women. I think they have a different mindset compared to women bodybuilding and physique, and even I've got I think in a couple of days I got to interview with a lady who's figure. Even that division, as Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. Used to be a big fan of Arnold. Arnold, I watch out the movies and Terminators and Schwarzenegger, and I didn't know it's not a tumor, and big fan. What he did to women's bodybuilding in the last few years is he pushed out Miss International, which predated the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. Then walked quite behind physique and stabbed it in the heart and figure. But you still have fitness, but still relatively, it's even though some of those women like just you saw recently Missy Trescott got injured, and also Whitney Jones. That's a tough division. I think it's probably when I talk to some ladies, it's telling me it's one of the toughest divisions in the sport because you really have to really put some work in.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I couldn't imagine on show day being like so depleted to look like that on stage and then having to like find this energy somewhere to do a routine. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I gotta give respect to these women what they do. I mean, and like I said, I like people I hear from what we would say, best of luck, safe health and healthy return for both Mrs. Trescott and Mrs. Jones. I mean, I recognize that. And even when there's times where you're not sure if you really are committed to the sport. When especially the days, like I said again, when you're tired, you feel depleted, you're sometimes you're not sure if your pH is right. Sometimes you're not sure, it's so much to this sport. But you know what? One of my favorite characters, one of my favorite next to Schwarzenegger Stallone, is the Rocky movies. And Rocky says, like, it's not about how hard he can hit, it's about how he can get hit and keep moving forward.
I like that.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Rocky. Yeah. But yeah, I think it takes a lot to do what you ladies do. And people from the outside who don't understand, like if it starts doing the content, I'm still an outsider, in my aspect, but stuff that, I've learned and listened to my conversations with you ladies, it's really, as a smo, you ladies excite me. You brought that other guy out. It's just I was like a dog chasing cars, but but you ladies you complete me. But I learned something. What doesn't make you stronger make you stranger. But sorry, come down. But yeah, I think it takes a lot of commitment and passion to a sport. There's not a lot of money in it. I mean, if it was more like mainstream sports, like you're in Canada, hockey, football, baseball, soccer, where we're making a good, even women's sports. I do content on also done bodybuilding. I do content on MMA. And those women, they get that same stink out because the fact is you're doing a sport which is considered a man's sport, which is considered masculine. You change the aspects of what people consider feminine.
Yeah. I definitely think that you would see a lot more people want to get involved when it was like that. But on the other side of that, you're right. We're just doing this because this is what we're passionate about and what we want to do. There's not that financial motivation behind it. I mean, obviously it would be really nice to make some money doing what you love, but just striving to be the best you can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I agree with you. We got here from Man Balls Deep. He says this. He says this is Balls Deep. Robyn is a purdy bird. Yeah, it's like say she show every party. Yeah, that's like, but yeah, I think you gotta have passion for a sport to eat. What you eat, to train how you train. Just to keep yourself motivated. Anybody else, like one guy I like to quote also is the great Ronnie Coleman. Everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but no one lifts his heavy ass weight. I mean, it's tough to do what he did because hey, 8-time Mr. But his thing is, he has 8 Olympia titles. Iris Kyle had 10. People are going to say this, oh, she won Miss Olympia, but she won 10 titles, 9 of them, 9 straight. She won her, she beat Linda Murray, and then she lost to Gina Key, and after that loss, she keeps going straight after that. You know, and you have to be consistent, you know. So I know people are gonna point that, you know, she does women's bodybuilding, but still bodybuilding. You know, it may not be, you don't lift as much weight as the men do, but it is work just as hard, and you have to prove themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I do think it's slowly getting better, and I think obviously things like this, you putting a spotlight on women, is helpful. So
Well,
maybe will be as important as the men, and people will want to watch us.
Well, like I said, last year I went to my first bodybuilding show, and I enjoyed watching. Like I used to watch either on internet or on. I used to remember bodybuilding used to be on television when I was coming up. You can catch it on network television, catch it on cable, but the last few years they have dropped it out. They've pushed it out. But it was great to see ladies like yourself. Like a couple of ladies I did interviews with, I got to meet and talk to. Ladies like I got to meet Annie there. I met Alina Popa. You know, I saw Linda Murray. She sitting in the front. She smiled at me. I wish I could have said something talking about. I knew she was busy. I mean, you know,
Smiled at me. It was just adorable. You're like, she smiled at me.
Yes, because you know she was just amazing. Can you believe this woman? Next year she's gonna be 62 years old. 62. She still looks like, you know, I mean, just amazing. She, I wasn't, when I was younger, I wasn't a big Linda Murray fan, but she was just another level, you know. I mean, everybody wants to see, people always talking about, she's kind of like how they put Linda Murray in the same, like when you talk about Daley Bailey, like when I do interviews about ladies, say, who's your favorite bodybuilder? Who gets you inspired? You say Daley Bailey. You do like this. Daley Bailey, it's Linda, Kai Green, and then I think I'll get who else I get? Maybe Arnold, you know, because you know he was one of the most successful bodybuilders. But it was just meet some of these women who I've seen them on videos, seen in the magazines. You know, it was just for me just being this poor country boy coming all the way to Savannah. And here's the sad thing about it: I missed my train ride back. But I was good enough that my oldest niece, she lived in Atlanta. She came all the way down for her own uncle and took him back home. You know, I appreciate that. You know, shout out to my niece Marlena. But to be there and meet these ladies and talk to them, and you know, I was kind of timid. You know, I talked to some of them as many as I could because it was out of my shell. But it's just genuinely, I'm a fan. You know, it's no different if I met someone like The Rock, or there's a picture of Linda Murray. She's actually, I think I'll send it to you later. She's actually standing with Shaquille O'Neal. Big fan of Shaq. You know, I think, you know, he's just one of the best basketball players of all time in his doing career. I mean, shout out to Kobe and all the others. Hello?
Hi. Sorry. Sometimes it like just freezes on me for like
yeah, no, technology can be a pain.
I missed a question in there.
Oh, sorry. Usually there's no question. I just talk off my
about seeing all these pro bodybuilders. Like I said, I'm so new, my second year or so. Toronto Pro was, I guess, the first time seeing in person like these women. So it's just amazing, like the stature, like you see it on stage, but then you see them in person and you're like, these girls are monsters. Like I have to get up on stage with these girls next year. I got to put some work in.
Yeah, I think you can do it. I mean, if you put as much work in you put into powerlifting, and you have that same passion you do for bodybuilding, I think it's going to transition to that. I mean, and you know, like I said, I'm the type of person I love to give people good vibes, because especially if I sense it about them. Some women I have done interviews and we hadn't talked to say much anything. Some ladies are still in good contact with. Some ladies I have their phone numbers. Was it yesterday? I did a live stream. It was me, a lady named Marianne Wachowski, who I met a while back. She was down here in North Carolina. She did a little get together with a guy. His name is Glenn. He has a body magazine. We did an interview. We still are good friends. Jada Beverly, she just returned after she took some time off from competing, and we're still talking. Keith Williams, him and his wife, I did an interview with, and we do a live stream together. I enjoy these ladies and men I have gone a friendship with, and you know, I think you have a future that too. Once you get to know the right people, and just like I said, this is something. This is one of my favorite movies from Batman Begins, when Ra's al Ghul says to Bruce Wayne, says, "Beware your surroundings at all time, Master Wayne. Never give us your footing for a killing blow."
I really do hope that's the case for me. I'm definitely going to make the most of this off season and, see where we come up. But I know I can do it if I put my mind to it.
Yeah, I believe you. I see your pro guards in the back. Where's that feeling? Yeah, where's that feeling when they told you you're an IFBB pro?
I honestly cannot. It still even doesn't feel real sometimes. And like I'll say something and my man will be like, you won 3 pro cards. Like, what are you talking about? It was just like a dream come true. Like, obviously I chose that show. I went to that show because that was like the goal I had in mind. But, I won the first one, instantly shocked, started crying, and then I go on and win 2 more. Like I can't even explain to you like that day. It was just like a dream.
Well, sometimes dreams come true. I mean, and you put in the time and the work to do this sport, and you were rewarded for that. I mean, you deserved it. I mean, sometimes you actually picture, is it real? But you say, "Ouch!" It's real. And you, especially with with the help with your boyfriend and support your family and your friends. I mean, I've talked to ladies that sometimes they lost friendships because they started getting the bodybuilding because they can't do the stuff that they used to do, like can't go out and drink, can't do like this. Sometimes you gotta get in bed like 10 o'clock in the evening. You gotta be up by 3 or 4 in the morning, to do your cardio or before you go to work. I mean, there's so much in sport that it takes a good chunk of your life, but as long as you can find a piece of it for yourself, you try and enjoy it.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I'm just lucky that I have Wayne, I think, because he's very understanding and we have the same hobbies, the same schedule. I know, like, friends in general kind of are supportive. I definitely, have said no a lot, that they're to the point where they know not to ask me, which it is what it is. But I've made this decision. I'm happy with my life. I've just kind of, I guess, evolved into different hobbies. If you can't go out and drink, like, oh, maybe I'll do this today or this today. It's so it's just different.
Yeah, that's the thing is the differences is what make us, great. If everybody was the same, this war would be boring. Not everybody's gonna be the cookie cutter version of each other. You have to have differences. Different personalities, different hobbies. Sometimes you just do the same thing over and over again. It can get, it's like training. You do the same training, but even now you might have to change it a little bit. Maybe put on an extra plate on when you're doing your back work, or you might go maybe extra 10 miles on your cardio. You can change that stuff up a little bit every now and then. But yeah, I know, especially when you're young, you really want to fly with the eagles and do what you want to do. But sometimes sacrifices are what make us better and stronger people.
Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
not. I honestly don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, and I think I'm to the point now. Maybe my first show, like, it was kind of hard, but now I'm just to the point, like, I can go out. I can go out for an hour. I can have fun, and I don't need like to drink or feel that pressure to eat something I shouldn't. Like, I've kind of come a long ways, I guess, where I can just go out and be happy that I'm out and socializing with people and still keep my goals in mind and follow them.
That's good. It's good that you are focused on what you want in the sport and to stay motivated. Like I said again, women like yourself, you deserve this work. You also said again, you deserve to get sponsorship. This is one thing, guys out there who do follow Robyn. You can go to her social media platforms. She has like you make donations because those donations help. Especially with the cost of everything goes wrong with bodybuilding, between training, between the coaches, the suits, and everything. Those little small donations can help. It can be no more than $10 or $20, and that helps out in the long run. I would say like this: if I was somebody, I said, "Hey, this is a young lady. She has a good passion for sport. I might want to sponsor you." But then you have those guys like, "Hey, Robyn, you're a cute little birdie. Yeah, you want to flat my way? No, stop it. No. Be like this, Mrs. Faulkenham. I would like to offer you an opportunity to seed in your career as a bodybuilder. We have a plan. We want to work with you, and you can work with us. We have things put together for you to make sure you have success in this sport. If you're comfortable with it and you like it, just let us know, and we'll get back with you. That's what we need people to do. Step up. I know there's guys out there who's fans, and if you step up more and offer the opportunity for these women, they just be genuine in it. Don't be that weird guy, be a good person who really wants to see an athlete. And she is an athlete to achieve her next goal. Maybe, like I said, if not this year, if not next year, someday we see her on the stage. She'll be up there with the big dogs, stomping it, and maybe even, hey, be the next Miss Olympia, physique, or Miss Olympia, the true Miss Olympia. yeah, baby, yeah. So anyway, folks, we're not gonna hold Robyn too long. I know she's a busy lady. She's up there Canuckville. The things she got to do. She probably got to eat her 8th meal for the day. So if you still are fresh, you're still new to sport, but if you could say something to somebody like for yourself, what would you think you need for the sport to make you better? What would you want to see happen for you?
I think so. I had a lot of people reach out for me after Toronto, and they're like, "Oh, I want to do a show. I want to do this." I think that you really need to know yourself and know, and as we talked before about saying no to your friends all the time, missing events, holidays, like you just need to be aware of that up front and be able to know yourself well enough to know that you do have the strength to say no. And it's not forever, but the things that you'll learn if you put yourself out there, and take this adventure to do the show or whatever, even like the structure with my eating and things like that, the things that I've learned that I'll carry on into all my other sports, is like eating to perform, getting that sleep, the support, who your real friends are when you need it, when you're down, when you're depleted and you're just like this shitbag human, and it's so worth it if you do it.
Especially if you do it right, especially you get the diet face with like, and it's tough, but then it's that day after, that night after, you go like, oh, I'm going to eat a basket of bread and butter, nothing else. And Wayne, if you touch my food, you will die.
Followed with cookies.
Oh, cookies too. What kind? Oreos or Chip Ahoy's?
No, like, at shows, they always have those like disgusting, they're called, this is what I call them, slutty cookies, because everything in them, those stuffed massive ones that are like half a pound.
Oh, those whore cookies. Yeah, I know a lot of these, they order them. They be like, say, what's that? I remember one time, it was one lady, her name was Hannah, and she said, what's that? Is that a donut? I said, no, that's a cookie. I said, I thought it was a donut. How big it looked. I mean, I like Chip Ahoy now and then. Actually, I got yesterday. I was last week I was shopping. I got a thing of oatmeal and raisin cookies. They got them at the local grocery store. They're freshly made, and I think I still got maybe about 6 or 8 left in the pack. It was like a pack of 12. So yeah, I'm being a good boy. It was the old me that cookie be gone by that day. But yeah, so anyway, like I said again, we're gonna hold Robyn up much longer. I think she has a good future. I mean, maybe like I said, if promoters can expand more shows for opportunities for women in Canada, also that'd be good. I know, it's tough, like I said, because I know some ladies say I remember Melina told me how last time, especially during the pandemic, it was awful. How y'all were tight like I think one lady who lives in Canada is Mona Persley. She was down here in the States for a minute, but she went back to Canada. Mona is a bodybuilding competitor, 2-time Olympic competitor. And I remember she was saying she had to find buy gym material because she couldn't go to gyms. I mean, and yeah, it was. And my mother, she passed away during that time, but it was tough, and and as you being young and have a passion for your sport and try to find time to work out and train, that was tough for you also.
Yeah, that was definitely a bleak couple of years. Um, I feel her pain. It was like everything was inflated and everybody was just trying to find like weights. It's like, oh, I'll take this weight plate. Yeah, that's all you have. That's fine. I'll make it work.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it's a good thing that you're still here, you're still standing, you made it through things a little better. Sometimes you have to go through a little hell before you get to heaven. But like I said, we're not gonna go much longer. I remember a lady told me, "Say, George, you do Cuban goodbyes. You talk too long before you say goodbye." But but I will say like this: I will hope to see you make your debut. I hope the best for you. If you don't win, maybe make top three. At least get into the money part, because I know it's not much, but hey, you don't do, like I said, yeah, live aids don't do it for the money, but I think it should be. I will say, a good amount for your time. The money put into the sport, you don't get much back out of it, and and you do have to have a love for the sport to do it. I mean, most anybody that say, "Hey, what? I got $3,000 for first place, and this guy over here got 15,000. Okay, I'm out. Like this shit, I'm out." But it's good that you love what you do, both in powerlifting and bodybuilding. You have a good future in either one of them. Like I say, you take a step back from you still want to do some powerlifting because I know you had issues with the injury, but it's good that you have those outlets for yourself. And in the future, what would you like to do if you're, like I said, with bodybuilding's over for you? What's your plans for the? I mean, not too far in the future, but what do you think you want to do after?
um, like I don't know, lifestyle wise, I don't think it really will ever be over. I think that this is sort of like the gym and the structure and stuff is something that I'm, probably gonna stay with. But in general, I would like to be more involved in the community. Whether, I mean, I'm a terrible poser right now, but I mean, maybe in the future I'll be better and I'll be like, maybe I'll, help girls with their posing or, going to shows just to be platform crew or
To work
judging.
behind the scene, that I know Will ACC when she before she made her pro debut, she worked behind the scenes. She was an expediter, and you get a first hand what's going on. That's also good for an amateur. I think you can volunteer, or I don't know if they pay you or not. They might pay you. It's all depending with the promoters. But I think whatever you do is whatever you want to do.
Those are my plans so far, but just take it day by day. And I mean, hopefully, the pro show. I know what you said. The money is the money thing. That's fine. But my first year as a pro, I'm sure I will be thrilled if I came in top three in any of the shows. Obviously, one is the goal, but like I said, I'm new. I'll take it as I come.
Mhm. Well, that's good for you. So, folks, we have a whole bunch. Like I said again, I know I keep repeating myself. Well, before we go, do you have anybody want? Most definitely, we know we're gonna shout out Wayne. So, anybody else you want to say shout out to while you here?
Definitely Wayne.
Or
So
partner?
but also Misfit Strength and Powerlifting. They are here in Canada, local, and they have supported me in my strongman powerlifting and bodybuilding career for the last 4 years or so. So definitely give them a follow.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you can't just shoot me a link, if you have some IG or like that, I can put it with your social media description, with your social media information. So if anybody's interested, maybe you want to follow, especially in the Canada area, or ever since pandemic, like this right there, live streams and Zooms are getting really popular because this is what we learned. Between wars and pandemics, new technologies come out. Maybe the bad part of it, but it's sometimes some good comes out of these things. But yeah, if you see me a link, I'll put in the description with your social media stuff, and maybe she might get some more people interested, especially in that area. Anybody else besides like most definitely know your grandma and mom. You gotta be come on, your little girl. You better remember them too.
Yes, my family, all my family. That's on the other side of Canada. They're so supportive and helpful, and I'm forever grateful for their love. And even um, locally, there's a couple like bodybuilders, female bodybuilders in my gym, and they've been so helpful. Me being new to the sport, every time I have a question, I'm just constantly like on the Instagram with them, and I'm like, what do you do here? What would you do here? What do I need to bring for this, my prep? So I'm just very grateful in general for the circle I have. Although small, wouldn't trade them for the world.
Well, we appreciate you guys. From Curtis Jr. says, thank you. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you too. We do wish you the best of luck in your future. Whatever you do, you have my support. Because I say again, I have guys out here say, George, we can talk to you girls, this girl. I talk to people that interest me. This is my content is about get recognition, especially those like up and comers like yourself who do need a spotlight. Because you know what, your story might inspire somebody who's been in your position, who doesn't powerlifting, or somebody who just say, you know what, in my life I'm trying to find something that really talks to me, and that's why I love talking to you. I love talking to I probably one day I might get to talk with Andrea, but talk to ladies like yourself who are up and comers, who as I can say, like you have the boots in the ground 10 toes down. That's really inspiration for somebody who just really want to understand what this sport is about.
I really appreciate it. I know, I like I said earlier, I don't really do a whole lot of this, so it's like a different challenge for me, and I'm a little bit awkward, but this has been really great, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm so happy that you gave me this opportunity to come on.
Well, it's my opportunity for you to come on here, and I appreciate that. And like I said, it's good that you feel that you are truthfully appreciated, because sometimes people don't take anything as how I best would say it, as well as advantage to themselves as coming up as an athlete. Some people might feel like he's not somebody I want to talk about because my nose now. But you took the time to talk with me. You could have just say, hey, okay, I think about it and then move on, and that's cool. But I do appreciate you and your time you have given to me. I mean, I hope, like I said, I hope the best for you in your future. Like I said, I think you have a good personality by yourself. You have a good head on your shoulder. You have a good man standing beside you. And I know he's gonna appreciate the fact that you call him your man. So he feels like he probably wants to, baby, thank you for calling me that, because I don't want to call. We're not gonna go rob banks. We're not gonna go digging. But that's just, like I said again, it's you young folks. That's what you want to do. I'm just me. I'm just kind of old fashioned. But yeah, I would say like this. People like yourself, you have a good future in sport. You have a level head, and your mind is focused on what you want to get out of this. Take what you get out of this sport, and don't let it take from you what makes you who you are. Have fun. Like this, one of my favorite movies, Play Cups. Make the money, don't make the money make you.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, anyway, folks, I'd like to thank people coming through. My man Balls Deep, Curtis L. Jr., also KL the Wanderer, Leroy King Kong, Sides King, Tony 97. All who watch this video, share, comment, subscribe, like, follow Robyn on social media platforms right here in the description. You want to check her out. But guys, she's a pretty girl. She looks like she's fresh as a driven snow. No pics.
Send cat pics.
Cat pics. I think I got, man. Let me see if there's a cat pics. Some things are cat pics. Not the kind of cat she's talking about. No, not that kind of cat. I know there's some women out there. There's some female schmoes, but she don't want those type of cats. But I think I see some cat videos. I think I've seen some. I mean, like those. But just like I said again, if you're interested in supporting her, you can go to her social media. She does, wasn't mind having a little help, some donation, buy some powder, buy this, whatever you can do to help her make her goal. Maybe someday, I said again, she might make the Olympia. If not, maybe she could go to Arizona and do the not the Rise 3% as Arizona Pro, but whatever she wants to do, let's support her in her path. So anyway, appreciate everybody coming through. Thank you again, Robyn. I appreciate you. Good luck to you in your future, and to everybody out there. Enjoy your week, and I hope we got Thanksgiving coming up. Wow, seemed like it was just summer. Now it's about time for Thanksgiving. It's crazy. It's crazy. Time flies. So anyway, this has been always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out. Have a good rest of your week and see you real soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.